What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Gillis the Kid. This is my friend Mike. And this time we're going to be talking about the Friday the 13th Part 3. It was the only Friday the 13th movie that actually came out in 3D.
Right.
And I'm holding here, this is like an 8-movie collection.
Right.
So
it includes, and it includes Part 1, uncut version.
Right.
There was they actually made, it was actually an uncut version that they made for Part 1. Other than that, I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think they just, so it was like an unrated extended cut version of the original Part 1.
Yep, that's how the box art looks. And the Friday the 13th movies, you know, there's multiple different movies and remakes now.
Right.
We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this movie starts out, I think it's like a day after Part 2.
Right. Well, just right. It picks up. Right. It starts off with the end of Part 2 with what's it? Jeannie. What was her name? Jeannie. Jeannie Field. Jeannie Field running from Jason. You know, at the time he was still wearing the farm outfit, I guess, and he had the sack or the pillow or something on his head.
He had like it was like a farm outfit with like suspenders.
Right.
And he had like the burlap sack over his head.
Over his head, right. Covers dysfunctional face.
Which is actually a pretty iconic mask.
Right.
It's funny because he only had like
one
eye.
You see his one eye, but I guess that's all I need is just stick my one eye out. Yeah. Right. So it just flashbacks to Part 2 real fast. The chase where she ends up in Jason's house. You know, that's when she, of course, sees the room where you see Mrs. Voorhees all
it was like the old cabin where like his mom's head was still at.
Right. It's like he kept the he just kept the head and he just made like if she was still alive. Remember, he had like put the sweater in front of her and everything. He had like all candles around.
It was basically like a shrine to his mom. Yeah.
It's like I guess to think that she's mom's still alive. So if you remember Part 2 at the end, she puts on the sweater, pretends to be Jason's mom, while Jason was locked out trying to get her to chop the door down.
It was basically like a recap.
Right, that's what it was. If you remember what happened, like I said, she eventually it started to work, but then all of a sudden Jason sees the head of Mrs. Voorhees, and then eventually tried to kill her, and then of course Paul came out. They started fighting, and eventually, of course, you think she killed Jason. She knocked him out, and
right.
And then as they were leaving, there was a new scene. If you remember this, there was a new scene at the end of I guess not considered Part 2 at the time. And you just see him he's getting up and he's getting you just see him.
He was like crawling away.
He was like moving, right? Yeah. He picked up his machete or whatever, knife, and then he started moving away. And just real fast, before we get more into the movie, I didn't know about this. Supposedly the original storyline was that Jeannie was I think she was supposed to be in Part 3. She was gonna learn self-defense, return to college. After
self-defense.
That's what it says here: self-defense and return to college after surviving her ordeal in the previous film. After and supposedly we kept wondering about Paul, was he alive or dead after that scene? Well, apparently he was dead. After finding Paul's corpse inside the dormitory, she prepares to track down Voorhees and face him in a final confrontation. But then supposedly the concept was abandoned when Amy Steele, that's her real name, Ginny, declined to reprise her role. So she turned down the role basically, and that's why obviously
they probably had to change the story.
Right.
Thank God they did, because they probably would have made her like learn karate or something like that girl in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, the third was the third one with not Tina, Kristen.
Right.
Kristen. Well, eventually. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Kristen. Alice, because Part 4 with her brother Rick.
Yeah, I'm glad they changed it.
Yeah.
But so this movie starts off. Jason, he's basically walking around now.
Right.
He did change his clothes.
You know what? We And I'm telling you, you find out, when you go online, you find out something new. Right, following the events of the night before, a badly injured and unmatched Jason, goes to a lakefront store for a change of clothes. Yeah. So there you go. We were wondering, so that's what happened. Now, the only thing it didn't say was he didn't get rid of his hair, though.
No, he didn't have to
found out he was bald. Yeah, the store was owned by Harold and his wife, Edna, yeah. So that's obviously the opening scene there at the store, and you just see a couple scenes where Jason walks around.
Yeah, Harold, he has like a rabbit, and apparently he was supposed to lose weight, so his wife kept like, "Hey, you need to stop eating," and he's got all this stuff like hidden around.
Well, I remember every time he kept walking around. Remember he started eating the peanuts, peanuts, like eating the peanuts, drank some juice, and then he eats the donut. Right. That's where she catches him. Remember, she grabs him with the donut. You're not supposed to, you gotta watch your cholesterol.
I think he took his clothes though, because remember the clothes is on the line. I'm guessing Jason might have just took his clothes.
I don't know. You never. Well, that's the thing. You never. I mean, we found out. You read what happened, but you never like saw him like change his clothes or anything. Of course, he had like just had like a shirt on, like I guess like khaki pants or something.
And as you probably have guessed, he killed.
Eventually, he did. Right. I think Harold. I think he went to. I think he went to the bathroom, right? Yeah. And I think he came out and he put. I think he had like it was like a steak chop. I think it was. Yeah, the steak chop. He put it like on his her stomach. So he went out and then she. I think
he took one of her sewing needles
and in the back. Yeah, it was like in the back of her neck, and then of course she. She.
Which of course she was just watching the news. Right. About him, and then he showed up.
Right, and real fast too in that opening when she was watching the news, the news anchor, that was actually Steve Miner, the director. And of course he, he helped out with the original with Sean S. Cunningham. So they were kind of like the creators. And if I'm saying right, I don't think Sean S. Cunningham didn't do this one, but Steve Miner did. So he was the director. So he did that one. So.
And then after that, you meet the group.
All the groups, yeah. You meet all the main characters. Yeah.
You got Dana Kimmell,
Chris Higgins, pretty much the main character, and then of course you meet Debbie, Tracy Savage, and her boyfriend Andy, played by Jeffrey Rogers. Of course, you found out Debbie was pregnant.
Right.
And then you meet who else? You got the Vera. That was
she was the Hispanic girl.
Right. Yeah. She was the one that was supposed to be Shelley's date. Of course, Shelley he was the prankster. Shelley played by Larry Zerner. Catherine Parks was Vera Sanchez, and then you have the two hippies,
the two stoner hippies.
Chili, that was Chili. That was the guy. No, the girl was Chili. Chili Jackson, Rachel Howard, and David Kems was Chuck. It was Chuck and Chili. Yeah. And if you see Chuck, kind of reminds you of Tommy Chung a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Because he kept saying man, and all that. So. Right. And they were like doing drugs. They were smoking and everything. So they were like the kind of like the Cheech and Chong.
And for a movie that was released in the '80s, it still had sort of like a '70s vibe to it.
Right.
With them in it.
And then of course Jason in this one was played by Richard Brooker. Is it Booker or Brooker? Brooker. Richard Brooker. Yep. This is Richard Brooker. So he had the role of Jason in this one. So.
Yeah, so the kids they're riding around in like this Scooby-Doo type van,
right? And
then they go to pick up Vera. Her mom comes out.
Yeah, they were arguing.
Yeah,
so,
they're not going.
She is not going. And they started arguing, and she comes out. All right, let's go. Everything all right? Oh, everything's fine. Yeah. So they go to Higgins. I think it's called Higgins Haven or Higgins Hill.
Was it? I think it was Higgins Haven.
Yes, it is. Good job.
Yeah,
Higgins Haven. And supposedly.
It was like a camp next. It was a camp close to Camp Crystal Lake.
Right, and Chris, Dana Kim, Chris, she goes back because she had, something happen a couple of years ago, which we'll eventually get into. She wanted to go back and face her fears.
Right.
So you'll learn, we'll get into that later. That's one of the reasons why she wanted to go back. So they get settled in, and you find out, who everybody is, and like I said, you find out Shelley's a prank. He's a prankster. He pulled a few tricks. Yeah. There was one scene where remember he had the.
He's got like a hatchet with like hair on it.
Hair on it, so it looked like he got chopped in his forehead. And then what is it, Andy? What's the boyfriend's name again?
Oh yeah,
Andy.
they were showing him.
He tickles like, oh, he's like, oh, come on, and they all. It's like they all hated him, but but the thing is, he kept like doing it though. like he wouldn't stop.
Well, he was Andy's friend, so I guess they sort of had to bring him along. But
right,
yeah,
it's like they didn't want to leave him by himself, I guess. So
the one thing that got me was the one room with the hammock.
yes,
I think it was like the only room that didn't have a bed.
Right.
They didn't even show the other.
They
rooms,
never really
did they?
showed.
Yeah.
No, they never showed the other bedrooms. Like you never saw where Shelley slept. You never saw where Vera slept,
Right.
or even where Chris and her. I guess was that, I don't know. It's considered her boyfriend. What was his name?
Oh well, yeah. So it was sort of her boyfriend. 'Cause,
Andy?
you know,
Not Andy.
They were in a romantic relationship.
Right.
So.
Why did I forget? Oh, Rick. It was Rick. Right. I think they had a past relationship or something.
Yeah.
Because remember he kept joking. He was like, well, remember a couple times they kissed and he joked. He was like, oh, you put a lot of weight on, Chris.
She's like, wait a minute, let's get settled first. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
Let me get used to this place again.
Right. Then of course, then we get to the scene where Vera and Shelley go to the store to pick up some food.
Yeah.
That's where of course we meet the motorcycle gang.
They meet the bikers.
Yeah, which they do have names. It is Ollie, and of course Fox, and Loco.
Yeah.
Loco, of course was I think he was the one with the cigarette in his mouth,
Right.
and so yeah, they had the little altercation at the store. They were with the wallet, and she threw the wallet. She's like, may I have may I have you say may I have the wallet, please, or ma'am, you haven't got the wallet, ma'am, and she just gives, may I have the wallet, ma'am, please, or something, and she just gives it to her. Yeah, so they leave. They're getting ready to leave.
Right.
And Ollie's out. He's smoking a cigarette. And that's when Shelley starts the car. And then
he backed the car up.
He backed it and hit he knocked the motorcycles over.
The motorcycles.
And that's when Ollie, remember he comes over, he looks and he smiles and Shelley's just like, smiles too. And then you have the chains. He starts smashing the car.
And he turns back around.
And then Shelley turns around, he's frustrated. Yeah, and then he just
runs over the
motorcycles again. And he's like, come back here, you bastard! Come back here and fight.
Which it probably wasn't hard finding them because
Well, I guess
probably searched. I think they probably follow
That's the only thing you can think of,
van,
right? Because eventually they were there, and they were looking. And judging by the way it looked like they were gonna probably set the whole barn on fire.
Yeah.
Because they had all the gasoline cans. They were gonna take the gas out of the Scooby Doo van, if that's what you want to call it.
I thought they were gonna burn the barn down.
Well, that's what it looked like too. I
Yeah.
think they were gonna. Looks like they were getting ready.
Because his girlfriend said she was like, maybe this is a little too extreme. Like,
That's what he said. He said yeah, and that's what Loco said. That's what Loco says. Like, no, we gotta even the score.
yeah.
And Ollie kept saying, nobody's gonna get hurt. So that's what he says.
Yeah.
So
meanwhile, Jason is like hanging out in the barn the entire time.
He just follows. Yeah, he just follows everybody throughout the movie, and he's just waiting to make his move.
Right.
Which of course happens with I think Fox. Yeah, I think Fox was first. Because remember, she went inside the barn. Remember, she was looking. She was looking around.
Well, she was first.
That's what I said.
She was swinging on the.
Yeah,
rope.
she was looking around. And eventually, you see her on the rope, and that's when it tells her to get. He says, Loco says, "Get down there. Get off the."
She tripped and almost killed herself with the.
Well, yeah, that was first. Yeah, you see the
pitchfork.
pitchfork. Yeah. But I'm saying, remember when Loco told her to get down? Remember, he turned around, and as soon as he turned, then as soon as he turned back, you just see her off the rope.
The pitchfork reminds me of the scene like in what was that
Halloween 5.
Yeah,
when he killed Mikey.
Yeah, when Mikey with.
Okay.
It's something about pitchforks.
You want to play?
Yeah.
Trick or treat. Yeah, and he puts but he puts it in his forehead though.
Yeah.
But you see Loco goes in, and that's when you see Fox was dead. Yeah, she had I think she had like something in her neck. I think it was like something in her neck.
He like pinned her up to the.
Yeah, it's like on the wall or something.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned the pitchfork. Yeah, and then Loco gets
he got impaled too.
With the pitchforch.
Yeah,
he put it in his stomach.
It was 2 pitchforks.
Yeah, he put it in his stomach, and then Ollie comes in, and then he just
Fox.
Yeah,
remember
Fox.
he's hollering Fox.
Fox. Yeah, and Jason, remember he throws Loco on him, and he just runs like Fox, and you see Jason comes out, and then they start fighting just for a couple seconds, and you see him like he's like whacking him. He's like,
with the machete. Let me tell you something. Jason is like a ninja in these movies. Like he's so quiet and he can hide very well.
He does.
He's pretty smart too.
He does. I'm telling you, you see him. He just most of the movie he stays in the barn, and then when he's ready to come out, then
he killed all three of the bikers in the barn. He
right.
didn't really have to hide their bodies too much.
Nah.
But everyone else he killed,
Right, we'll get to which we'll get to. Yeah, I mean, later, that's when Chris and Rick. That's when they decided to go leave for a bit.
Right.
Remember, she wanted to go. Well,
he wanted to leave.
Yeah, he did. He
altogether.
Well, that was the other thing too. The car that was damaged, that was Rick's car. Because remember, he came back and God forbid, he thought he was going to be ticked off. He just went, "What?" He's like, "What happened to my car?"
Yeah.
And that's when he finally, he said to Rick, he's like, "Listen," he was like, "I got, I don't know if I'm liking this or I can't."
Right.
I'm going
which
to go away for a while.
Which of course was the last working vehicle.
Right.
The van was disabled. It had no more gas in it.
Right. So so that's pretty much what happened. So Chris and Rick, they go. Yeah, so they go away. They just they go camp. They just like build a fire somewhere, or they just talk.
Well, yeah, that's when she finally told him.
Right, what happened a couple years ago. Right, she has. She didn't know it was Jason. She just kept saying it was like, "Oh, this guy came over."
Yeah.
Well, she said what happened was she had an argument or something with her family.
She had an argument with her mom. And
right.
Her mom hit her.
Right. So she went out. Right. She stayed outside, and she fell asleep. And then that's when Jason. Of course, again, she didn't know that was Jason at the time. She started chasing them. They were running around, and eventually she said she passed out or something, right?
Yeah, he pinned her down to the ground.
Right,
and he started dragging her.
Right, and then which was surprisingly weird that he didn't kill her. Maybe she thought he was dead. I guess.
You know what? She was literally one of the first survivors to actually survive him. Now that you think about it.
Well, doesn't part Amy Steele in part 2 count though?
Well, yeah, but she was at the camp.
Right. Yeah. But yeah. So that's what I was saying. I guess he thought that she was dead, and maybe that's why he didn't kill her. I guess. Because he
either that or someone stumbled upon them.
Right. Because he had the knife. She kicked the knife away and everything, and so they fought for a few minutes. But so that's what happened. That's why she wanted to go back and as she said, face her fears. So.
One thing I want to point out is that Jason, his face looks like Sloth from the Goonies.
Oh yeah.
It's just like
functional. Yeah. What'd you say with Chuck?
Candy. What did he say? Like candy bar.
Well, remember Chuck? Remember?
Yeah.
Chuck.
Yeah.
Wait.
He looked just like Sloth.
Right. Yeah. So really, so then Jason begins. That's where he begins his killings of the people of the place. I believe Vera was first, if I'm saying it right. Again, Shelley was trying to make an impression.
I don't think so.
No, I think it was. I think Vera was first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Vera was first because that's when eventually. Yeah. Well, first of all, remember when Shelley tried to. He was trying to try to get her to be your boyfriend or be your girlfriend. Remember, it was like, how much I like you a lot, but she stopped him.
Yeah.
And that's when he got ticked about that. And then eventually, remember she sat in the lake, and that's when you see, Shelley come out, and that's the hockey keyword, the hockey mask keywords, hockey mask. You have the hockey mask.
The first time you actually see the hockey mask. You see the debut of
the hockey mask, right? That's how it premiered. Shelley had it first, and then. And then Vera, she just pretty much said to him, remember, she's like, "Why do you have to act like this? Why do you gotta, why you gotta be a jerk?" Because that's, I forget what he said. Because if I'm not a jerk, I'm a nobody or something like that. He said. Yeah, so he walked away. She went back. She just put her feet back in the water.
So Jason must have, I guess, slashed him.
Yeah, well, remember, because
his throat was slashed.
Remember he went to the barn first. Remember, he just started walking.
Yeah.
And but you didn't see him do it though.
No, he just turned around.
Right, and then because Vera had Shelley's wallet. She forgot to give it back to him at the store. Because that's how that whole scene started.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Shelley threw the wallet.
Didn't he change his clothes again though? It looked like he was wearing
No, he had. Was
it the same?
I think it was the same outfit. Like I said, he had the khaki pants. He had a gray shirt, gray khakis.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were saying at the store, the wallet that was Shelley's wallet. And remember, Shelley threw it to Vera, and that's how the whole scene started with the motorcycle game. But anyway, and then eventually, she drops the wallet in the water or the lake, whatever. And that's when you finally see Jay. Yeah, and then you finally see Jason for the first time with the mask on. We were joking about how remember you actually don't see him just grab the mask and put it on. Apparently, he just already had it on. And that's when he had it was a spear gun, by the way.
Spear gun, yeah.
That's what it was, yeah. And then he put this. She thought that was Shelly. Remember, she's like, I dropped your wallet. Yeah. Here we go. And then that's when finally she went, she's like, wait, who are you? And then he fired you.
Let me tell you, Jason has very good accuracy when it comes to like weapons.
Right. So it was a spear gun right in her eye, and of course she was the first of the group to
like
be
he
killed.
shot her like halfway across from the. He was standing like near the barn and just right in her eye.
Right. Just a perfect. And that's the other thing too. He's a good shot.
Yeah.
good shot. So anyway, yeah. So Vera was she was the first of the group to be gone, and then I guess next would be who would be next? Was it?
Well, that one girl told her. She told the guy to go down into the basement.
Were they next? Or was it Debbie and? I think it was Debbie. No, I think it was Debbie and.
The two that was having sex.
Yeah, I think they were. Yeah, I think they were. I believe they were next, because they made out. Yeah, they made out in the hammock. Right, because then that's when Andy wanted to go get beer.
Right.
So she went back and took a shower. She took a shower, and that's when Andy came. He's in.
Walking on his.
Yeah, he's like doing like a hand. He's like walking like in a handstand. That's when he came in. That's when he came in to shower. And he says, do you want a beer or not? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll take one. And then so he goes back up, and that's when you see Jason. Remember, he was doing the handstand. Yeah. He looks up, and Jason's right there, and of course he had the axe or something.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Machete.
He
literally split him in half too.
Yeah. Right. That's when you see when she goes back to bed. Yeah, she was reading a magazine.
And of course, she doesn't see a full-grown Jason hiding under a hammock. Like, how can you hide under a hammock? Like,
especially right, because if he's just laying there, I mean, what? She didn't like.
Not unless he was in the ceiling.
No, he was.
Oh.
No, because if he was. Yeah, because
he did stuff the other guy like up in the ceiling.
Well, that's what I said. He did that. Well, she was reading her magazine, and that's when that's when she saw the blood was coming down, and then she looked up, and that's when that's when you see Andy. He was like broken. Yeah, he's like you see like half his body on the one side. And then and then that's when finally you see Jason put his hand down, and then he put the knife like right into her neck or something. It's like coming through. But you're right though, like so she comes in a room like you're right, like. Then she like what? She didn't like
There's
put her head down.
There's nothing, literally nothing to hide under.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like she didn't like walk in like she like put her head down, but like hey, what are you doing under there? But she just.
I could be wrong. Maybe he was hiding in the closet or something. I don't know.
But he was hiding in the closet. Didn't he hear the closet door open? I don't know.
Who knows?
He's good. I guess he's good at tiptoes. I don't know, but either way, he was under the hammock, and he stabbed her, put the knife right through her neck, and then of course she was gone. So Debbie and Andy are gone. Then next. Then. Yep. What's the?
You got the.
Chuck. Chuck was the one. Right. That's when they were. That's when the power. Yeah. That's when the lights started to flash.
Well, Jason cut the lights off because he was already down there.
Right. That's when Chili. That's her name. Chili. She said, "Go check it out. Go check the power. Check the power."
Me all alone? Yeah. Be a man.
Telling you. They're like the Cheech and Chong of the movie. So Chuck,
it wasn't really hard getting them. I mean, they were high half the time anyway.
Right. So Chuck goes down. He goes down there. He moves around, and eventually, Jason does it again. They lured him. He was obviously in the room, just waiting for I guess somebody to come down, which was
Chuck got electrocuted.
Yeah. So he turns the lights on. He's just standing right there, and he's like, "There we go. Okay, got it." And then I think, what did he do? I think he just
pushed him.
Yeah, he turned around. Yeah, he picked him up, and he just and all the lights. Yeah, he saw the lights are flashing, and she's like was looking around, and that's when she opens the door. That's when so Chuck's there. And that's when Shelly opens the door. Then you finally see Shelly with they got
Shelly, stop playing around.
Yeah, that's what he's like.
That's why you don't play like that, because when you really do need help, people think you're joking.
Right. Well, he couldn't talk. That's why he was just like.
But she finally realized. She's like, "Get up!" Yeah. Remember, she's kicking him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Shelly's dead.
Shelly's dead.
Remember how she was running?
Yeah, she was running up. She was running up and down the stairs, and then that's when you see Jason grab the poker from the fire, and with her, I think he just so she came downstairs and he was right there, and he stabbed in her chest, and you just see you see the backside coming out. Oh god, and he's dead. And then I think then we're down to 2, right?
That was it.
Chris and Rick they were coming back from their little getaway.
They had to walk back. Remember, the car wouldn't start.
Oh, is that what happened? Yeah. I couldn't remember that. Okay. So they come back, and that's when they, the
little yellow Beetle car.
All right. Yeah. That's when they came back. Of course, the lights were out. Yep. A couple minutes of Jason, lights were out. They looked around and everything, and then Rick. That's when Rick went outside. He said, "I'm gonna go outside or check it out or whatever." And then she goes out, and of course that's when you see Jason. Jason's holding first she's holding him. Yeah, Rick couldn't he couldn't get his hand out of his mouth, and so she's like Rick, and then I'm saying Rick. I mean, Rick. That's right. Yeah. And then so she goes back and shuts the door, and of course Jason crushed him. That's when his eyeball, his eyeball pops out.
He just crushes his head.
Yeah, he crushes his head, and you see his eyeball come out. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty neat in 3D.
Oh yeah.
If you're just a horror fan in general, but
80s 3D, so 3D. It probably wasn't that good.
Right, yeah, maybe, but and then Rick was she was the only one left. And that's where the pretty much their chase begins. She she was just walking around. And that's when she saw I forget whose body did she see first? I forget. Well, she went to the tub, the shower, the bathroom. Yeah, that's where she saw the clothes. They were all in blood. Clothes, yeah, it was all in blood. And then that would be Rick, right? That's when That's when Rick fell through the window.
Yeah, he threw him through the window.
I think that was the first. Yeah, that's when that was the first body. Pretty much, he threw through the window, and that's when Jason. The camera came on. Then right, and that's when and then Jason. You see Jason peek in.
Yeah.
And that's where the chase started.
Right.
She went upstairs. She went to one of the closets, and just lo and behold, who just happens to be in the closet? But the body of Debbie. Debbie's body just happens to be in the closet.
Yeah.
And then she remember how she accidentally.
Actually, the chase started when she went outside, wasn't it? And then that guy fell from the tree.
It was one or the other, yeah. It's hard to remember. But
either way, he was after.
Yeah, I mean, he was after, right? But I'm just saying. But the one scene was cool though because she was in the she locked the door. He was in the closet. Right. She was in the closet, and she saw Debbie's body.
Oh yeah.
And then she covered her up like and then remember she peeked in, and so when you see Jason with the I think he had the axe. I think he had the axe there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts to run and he starts chopping the door open, and then she took the knife from Debbie. And she got stabbed in the neck. And I think she stabbed it. Well, first she stabbed his hand because he was going to open the door.
Right.
So he stabbed his hand, and then finally she just popped up and he's just she's going stabbing like crazy. And then I think she stabbed his leg around his kneecap, and then he took the little knife out and he threw it at the door.
This is when Jason was still actually a human.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't superhuman or anything.
Right. He wasn't like part able. That's future. Yeah. We'll be talking about them in the future. Yeah, throws a knife at the door almost got her, and then the chase was on again. Mm-hmm. That's when eventually they ran to the barn.
Right.
I think Well, no, that's when first was when she got into the car.
Well, the car.
Scooby. Yeah, she got. Well, she started. It worked at first though. Remember she started driving. Remember Jason was right there. He was right there he was in the front, and he just dove out of the way. Oof, he dove. Then she got on the bridge.
Oh yeah, that's
the bridge,
right.
And that's when the car died.
Right.
And eventually,
because they took the gas out.
And the funny thing is, remember we were talking about how human he kind of was. You can see him he was kind of still limping a little bit. Yeah. And that's. And eventually he he put his hands through the window. Mm-hmm. He tried to grab her, and then she did the smart thing. She put the window up, and his hands were stuck in the on the window, inside the car and the door. But you see what he did when he escaped. He headbutted his head.
The window,
headbutted his head on the window. He came around, and then they ended up in the barn, and that's where she was hiding. There was a couple. She was hiding on the one scene, and then she was he was looking around.
Mm-hmm.
got to the point where eventually he just got ticks. Remember when he was walking around? Remember he kept like throwing things out of the way.
Oh, the what do you call it? The haze.
Well, yeah, the haze and all the loose crap in the
Yeah, because there was no animals there,
right.
so
he was just he was just frustrated. He's like looking around, looking around. Excuse me, where is she? And then that's when you saw. Remember, she was on top of the. God forbid how she was on top of that.
Yeah.
The ceiling part there.
Yeah.
She was like like crawling or something. And then he fell. That's when she jumped on him.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like she jumped. She landed on him, and then she got up, and then remember, I don't know what happened. He just looked around, and he just happens to find. I think that's where he picked up another machete.
Oh yeah, didn't the dude?
And then Ollie came in, right? Yeah. First he grabbed. Yeah. Well, Jason, when he woke up, got up, he grabbed the machete out of nowhere. Where did he? Just happens to be there. He just grabbed it. Yeah, I think. What did he do? Did he throw it at her? I forget what he did, but right, and then. Yeah, Ollie came in. I guess he was. What did he do? Stayed at the barn the whole movie, or
yeah, maybe he was like knocked out.
Still knocked out. And he finally woke up, and then that's when Jason turned around and he whacked his hand off. Yeah. And then he had to finish the job.
Actually finished.
Then he had to finish the job this time. So once again, he started whacking like four or five times, saying like, okay, I think I got him this time. And then let's see. Well, eventually he got knocked out.
Well, when he was killing him, that's when she.
Yeah, she. Well, remember too. Also, we led into that scene where she put the rope on him. Remember? He got. How did she knock him out the first time? Because remember she put the rope on him. He hung him outside the barn. Remember he was hanging on the outside with the rope around his neck?
Yeah, because he was busy like chopping Alec. Yeah.
Was that next? Okay, and then and that's when Jason woke up. Remember she opened the door. He was hanging on the he was still hanging on the outside of the barn, and that's when he took his mask off, and that's when she remembers like yo,
it's you.
Yeah, it's you, right? And then they went at it again, and then eventually she got the what was it? It was the axe or something. It was the axe.
Yeah.
Jason, I forget what Jason was doing when he was getting ready to come after her, and of course that's when she put the axe on the tip of his head, with the mask on. That's what it was like.
No.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was like walking like Frankenstein, and then finally, and then he finally passed out, and he was knocked out. So you could see like the blood coming out of his neck. So, and then so for now he supposedly.
Of course, the police shows up.
Right. Well, first she goes in the boat.
The boat.
The boat scene first. I think that's where it was basically just a hallucination or something. Because you see Jason. Remember, that's when you see Jason without his mask on. You see him in the window.
She basically had the same hallucination Alice did. Remember?
From part one. Right. Just real fast. You see Jason come out. He's looking out. He's like trying to open the window. Then he comes out the front door and he starts running. At the time, yes, he was running. Eventually, he walked more in the later ones, but he was running at the time still. And then she was escaping, and she looked up, and of course he was gone because it was just she just hallucinated.
Right.
And then eventually that's when you see Mrs. Voorhees come out and grab her and drag her in the water, drag Chris in the water, and then then it leads into the cops.
Yeah.
That's when she kept. That's when she was like. Kind of like traumatized.
She was
traumatized.
Crazy. Yeah.
It was traumatized. Even said in the description. Yeah.
She didn't want anybody to touch her.
Yeah, because as they were taking her, remember she's like, and she got. Then remember when she got in the car, all of a sudden she went, and she's like laughing. Yeah, she was like, she was all crazy.
There was actually another ending where she actually heard her boyfriend call her name, and she went out to investigate, and then when she comes back, Jason actually cuts her head off, but they changed it.
Did they change it?
I
didn't read it on there though. I'll have to look later. But
yeah.
All right. So the cops come. They take her away. I guess I don't know where they took her. Probably saying something.
Well, no, just probably
take her somewhere safe.
Just to
obviously.
get checked out.
Yeah.
After all that.
So they drive away, and of course you see it's the present. You see Jason still on the ground with the the axe on his head, laying down, and you see a view of the camp, And then that's it. Yeah. And then the movie ends, and there you have it. And also too, I don't think we said this at the beginning, but it was originally supposed to be a trilogy. Supposedly, it was a trilogy, and then they just, then obviously they decided to make it.
This was actually supposed to be the last movie.
Right, and it also said too. Let me see if it's still in the descriptions. Where's the story I'm supposed to focus on? James.
Here
we go. Yeah, it's right here. It's a.
I was gonna say part 4 started out kind of weird too.
Right. Received. It came out in '82, It grossed $36.7 million at the U.S. box office on a budget of $2.2 million. Received negative reviews from critics. It was the first. It says here it was the first film to remove E.T., the extraterrestrial, from the #1 box office spot, and became the second highest grossing horror film of 1982, behind Poltergeist. Yeah, and it has the third most attendance of Friday the 13th franchise, was approximately of 11,762,400 tickets sold. Right. And of course, it was followed by, of course, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which is to me one of my top favorites. So I'm looking forward to doing that one in the near future.
Which is not the final chapter, by the way.
Yeah, they call it the final chapter, but it continued after that. But definitely looking forward to doing that one. Of course, start with Corey Feldman. Of course, of course, his movies, The Lost Boys and License to Drive, and all his other, The Goonies. So yeah, hopefully we'll have to do that one in the future, because like I said, that's one of my favorites. So I can't wait to do that one. I'm excited. Just like Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 4 was probably one of my definitely my favorite ones of that series. Well, final chapter in this one's my favorite. So looking forward to it. I mean, but this one was good too. It was the first. It was the first time. The first time he wore the hockey mask. So it's like the debut of how he looks today. Yeah. With the mask and all. So but it was always enjoyable with.
Part 4 had like some of the best characters too.
Well, you had what's his name? Of course, I forget his real name, but
a lot of characters in that movie.
Well, you had George McFly from Back to the Future.
Right.
He was in that. Of course, I forget his real name. But we'll get. Like I said, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in the future. Yeah, the thing really, Part 3 didn't have too many popular people in that one. I actually met Richard Brooker. I know I said this in the past, but I'll say it again. I met him at a horror convention a while back. So I got his autograph. I don't have it with me. Maybe down the road I'll bring it, or if I take a picture of my phone, I'll show it on my phone.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed away. I'll look him up right now. I remember when he died. Actually, he passed away April of 2013. Oh. Yeah. Does it have? Yeah. They said died of a suspected heart attack. The cause of death was later found to be undetermined at a hospital in Los Angeles. He was young. He was only 58 years old. That was it. Yeah. Less than 1 month after his final convention appearance. That's when he passed.
So we've got how many more movies to go?
Well, if we're gonna if we do them all, you figure you got 8 on that one. Then you got Jason Goes to Hell. You got Jason X, probably one of the worst ones.
Oh God.
We'll still do it though. Then Freddy vs. Jason, and then the remake in 2009.
Right. I actually liked Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason Goes to Hell.
So.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it was probably better than Jason X.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think Jason X was probably definitely the worst one out of all of them. And then Kane Hodder, of course, he appeared in 4 of them. He did Part 7, Part 8, Part 9. I don't know what his take was on Part 10, but then that was it. He didn't do Jason, Freddy vs. Jason. I think Right. I met him a while ago too, and I think I asked him that too. He said he thought he was going to do it, but apparently they didn't want to use him. So right. Of course he also played Ed Gein. If you saw the movie Ed Gein, he was in that. So he's been around. So Kane Hodder. So.
Yeah, and you can get these movies in all different types of collections, just like I have here.
Yeah, you get them in a box set. You can get them individually, or sometimes they might have. I think there's somewhere they have like the first 4 in one set, then they have the other 4 in another set. But it's always good to get the whole, get them all together. That's how I usually do it. I have I have all the Nightmare on Elm Streets in the set. Same thing. I think I got the right. First 8. I think I'm on Blu-ray.
Who knows? We might even go to Camp Crystal Lake one day and do a review there.
You imagine? Oh my God.
in the daytime.
Definitely the daytime. Yeah. Well, remember in Part 6, they eventually changed it to forest green.
Right.
Yeah, I remember, because that's when the sheriff said, people will forget this is Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah. You would have think they would have changed the name after the first incident. But...
Well, that Higgins, they called it Higgins Haven. That wasn't Camp Crystal Lake, was it?
No, it was.
It was actually a different place.
Close by, but.
Okay. Because they never acknowledged Camp Crystal Lake in this one. And we remember talking about the music. The opening of the music, kind of like a disco kind of opening. Yeah, opening. Yeah, it was something instead of the usual. Right, the violin music. I mean, they played it throughout the movie during the chase scenes, of course. But yeah, as far as the credits go, yeah, they didn't play it. But eventually they did in part 4 and the other ones after that. But yeah, it was weird. It was a different opening music too. Right. So.
Yep, but that's all I have for now.
I think we're good. I think, like I said, it's a good movie too. I mean, the earlier ones were the best. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Could have been the last, but it wasn't.
No, it said it was only going to be a trilogy. Well, same thing about part 4, the final chapter. They said the final chapter. Well, you're wrong about that.
They're still making remakes today.
All right, and hopefully, we'll do that one in the future. Because, like I said, I enjoyed that one. That's my favorite, one of my favorites. So I'd like to talk about that one soon. So.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're good.
I'm gonna drop all the links down into the description so you can check that out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Mike, I want to thank you for coming back and doing another review. Thank you, man. It's been a while, and I always look forward to doing these together with you, and I can't wait to do more in the future, definitely. Yep, Friday the 13th, part 3. So that's in the books. But I want to thank everybody for watching, and as always, we will catch you on the next one. Peace.